Action.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm JB.
I'm Chris. You said that really weird. JB. It's because you didn't know whether to say J or not, innit?
We run this mother. Girls. Who run the world? 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 Girls. Who run this mother?
Hi, welcome to another episode of Talk Nerdy to Me. I'm Jay.
I'm Chris.
And we are going to discuss in great depth Wonder Woman.
Yeah, we've just been to see it at the cinema.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking in depth, so it's going to be full of spoilers. Big spoiler warning.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go and see the film and come and watch our review. Or if you don't give a fuck about spoilers, and just watch the review. So.
Yeah, in case you don't know, me and Chris, when we go and see a film, we don't talk about it until we sit down and that camera is rolling. So,
What did you think of it?
I don't know. I really liked it whilst watching it, and as I left,
Now it's resonated.
it's resonated. I am focusing on slight negatives, but it's right. Go on. What did you think?
Well, I've got a question for you. I know exactly what you mean. Now it's resonating and you're thinking back, and usually if you watch like a boss film in the cinema, you're like, oh, I can't wait to go see that again. I haven't watched that again now. So you don't have that feeling.
I think I would see it again.
Yeah.
It's just more the
Would
fact
you go in the
that
cinema to see it again?
I think I've got no choice. The missus wants to go, so.
Oh, right.
But
But are you stoked to sit down and watch that again?
I think I am.
Yeah.
This is the thing. I think I am,
Yeah.
which is an odd thing to say. It's just when you've got such blockbusters coming out this year, as there's going to be Spider-Man, Thor, and other future ones. The Justice League are allegedly going to be great.
Oh, of the year, right.
But we've
I
had
see what you
Guardians
mean.
as well. I just
Yeah,
think
I mean-
there's such a bar hit
Right.
at the moment.
So let me say this right now.
Go.
If it had been the other way round, and we hadn't seen Guardians 2, and we'd have just come in straight, first superhero film of the year, Wonder Woman, we probably would feel differently about it. I'd
Yeah,
say.
I think you're right.
But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great film.
Yeah, not to take anything
Great
away from
film.
the film, by the way. It's a great film. You should go see this film.
Yeah.
I just think that DC are still finding the steps. This is a very good step in the right direction. Very,
Oh, yeah,
very
it's a good
strong
step, yeah.
step in the right
Yeah.
direction. But I feel like the quality of the films are still about 3 years behind where Marvel are.
It was very Iron Man 2-ish.
I was actually going to say, and this is a total compliment to it, I was thinking while I was watching it, this is what Captain America, the first Avenger, wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it does a better job than Captain America, the first Avenger.
As a period piece,
Yeah.
it's better.
Much
than
better.
Captain America.
And it's even got some scenes which are reminiscent and maybe a little better than the first Thor movie, like the ancient battles and stuff like that. However, it is back with those films back in 2007, 2008, where it's still finding its footing. But anyway, let's break it down. Like we said, there is going to be spoilers.
So we open, we see, the first thing we see is Themyscira. isn't it?
Yeah, Themyscira, and
And
then
I've got to be honest, that gave me chills, man.
did
There
it?
was a few moments in this film where I got chills, and I was like, fuck,
Yeah, there is a few.
that's cool, that's really cool. And seeing that on the big screen for the first time, it's the first time I see in this place, you know, Paradise Islands, we're getting to see all the Amazonians, the fighting, the training, that world, seeing that translated onto the cinema screen was something special, I thought. I thought they nailed that.
Yeah, no, they
You know.
definitely did it without
It was just like the comic books. It was perfectly done. Really well
without
done.
without sexing it up either. Because one thing I
It
recently
could have been easily nice looking chicks with shapely behinds, you know.
Yeah. They did that bit in the animated movie, I noticed.
Oh yeah, they tend to do that. That's how they tend to do it. But I like the fact that they went with strong, you know, female characters that they kind of looked a little bit like wrestlers, and but more like warriors.
More like
yeah,
Amazonian women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rather than just casting a bunch of supermodels,
Yeah,
they had women that looked like they were built for that role.
yeah.
I like the way that it showed her being brought up, and you know, it showed enough. It didn't give too much. I like the fact that it showed her that she had a bit of a fire in her when she was a kid.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that little kid did a good job.
I just thought hippopotamus, what you got, hippolymus,
Hippolyta.
Chipolata.
Chipol.
I just thought that she talked down to Diane, to Diana, but by doing so, she also talked down to the audience. Someone explaining like where she came from, gets out this book, this moving pictures, as it were.
Yeah.
I kind of more reminded me of how Hercules is explained in the Disney film Hercules. But
Yeah,
I
that's
felt
right,
like
yeah.
the tone of the film was kind of set with them training for battle, and afterwards, that one scene didn't fit. It just really felt like being talked down to, like, you were made out of clay, and then Zeus uses his last breath, and I get it, she's reading to a kid, but there's an audience here, and maybe do that, but in Wonder Woman, the animated one, they showed the battle, and it gave it so much more gravitas.
Well,
that first battle is when it really all kicked off. When she's
mate, that scene.
The battle when she's actually training. When she's training, she's finally been allowed to train, and she's goes against and Astra. No, when she does that, and she realises a bit of a true power. Yeah. Like that entire scene was really good, and from that point on, the movie really progressed. But I feel like that first 5 minutes is a bit weird.
I thought as soon as Steve Trevor plopped into that film, fell out of the sky, it just started then.
Yeah.
In a big way. You know, that scene on the beach where they're fighting and they're shooting the arrows and they've got the guns and the Germans invade, you know.
It was like Saving Private Ryan meets Gladiator.
Very good. Very, very good.
Very good.
And you know, and then she jumps over, she jumps onto the shield and springs up into the end, she gets the 3 arrows and poof,
I'll give DC this. That first beach scene where they're fighting the Nazis, there's some better arrow work in that than has been in any of the Avengers films with Hawkeye. There's like the idea, like just getting them, stuffing them in the ground and turning around. Cool. There was so much they made crossbows at bows and arrows cool, which is something Hawkeye, the only way he's made it cool is with a little quip, little thing like that. But they got that.
And that was our first little taste of the action scenes in this film.
That was to come.
And not one of them really let down. I mean, it just got better and better.
Yeah.
I mean, every fight scene, every action sequence in this film was bob on. Not weirdly filmed like a video game, like in Batman v Superman, where you're like behind the character and it's, you know, it was all, you know what I mean? It was all done really well, you know. So we're going to talk about Steve Trevor, Chris Pine.
He was amazing.
Yeah, he was
that
very
character
good,
was amazing, and it totally redeems and backs up what I said on the way there. And I'm sorry if I keep comparing to 2009's animated Wonder Woman. I have only just seen it, but I think it is a fair comparison to make. I said the one thing I hated about that film was Steve Trevor, and I said it's because he's written lazily. They make him just out to be, give him sphincter and boob jokes, and you said, well, they've got to portray that he's different. I went, yeah, but there's a cleverer way of doing it.
And that's it.
That was how to do it.
He was very well written.
Charisma.
And he was so believable.
Yes.
He's a very good actor, isn't he?
Chris Pine's so underrated.
He is, you know, and I'm going to back up what Jay from Skeleton Crew's he's been touting this. He should be Hal Jordan. He should be Green Lantern, because imagine how great he'd be.
I know, it's too late now.
But Jay was saying that he watched Wonder Woman the other night and he was just like, I couldn't stop thinking how great of a Hal Jordan he'd be. And it's true.
Yeah.
But he was a great Steve Trevor. He was a great Steve
Trevor. I cared as much about him as I did Diana. And
should we talk about Diana?
Yeah, let's talk about Gal Gadot.
Let's talk about Gal Gadot. She fucking nailed it.
Got it.
She was insanely good in this film.
She is Wonder Woman.
She's fantastic. She was so fucking good. You know, the action, the emoting, just everything. She just fucking nailed it. And I almost thought that she was too good for this film. Like, every time she was on screen, it was magical. Absolutely magical.
She stole the show.
Your eyes were just glued to her the whole time, no matter what was going on. There was a scene when Steve Trevor hands in the book, or he's attempting to, and he interrupts the meeting, right? And he's speaking, and I'm not watching him. I'm looking at her the whole time.
And I think Chris Pine worked really well. And
they had a great chemistry.
They had a very, very good chemistry, which I think the boat scene helped to show.
Yeah.
Like, these characters didn't feel like they were being forced together at any point for the sake of a romance. They clearly, from the moment one saw the other, they both like the other one,
Mhm.
and you can see why, and you can see them kind of both going, but they're both resisting it because they're both on different missions, and they know that their like worlds can never collide. But that boat scene reinforced to both of them like, oh crap, they like each other.
I like those three guys: the Indian, the Scotsman, and the Red Indian. God, I can't. I did think it was a bit odd that the Scottish sniper never actually got to shoot anybody. You know that moment where he was like, he was obviously shell shocked with something, had PTSD, and then he had his moment to shoot the guy in the clock tower, and then he couldn't. But then I thought that they'll return to that, and he'll get his chance later on. It'll be the
Redemption.
Deus Ex Machina where he comes in and saves the day. But that was just left, wasn't it?
It was odd.
I don't know whether something was left on the cutting room floor, maybe.
It was this is what I liked about this film. There's lots of things about all the characters that I liked, little stories that you can look at, little possible subplots, and theories that one can have about characters. This is something DC haven't been able to nail for ages, and they've really got it well. Even to the point where the villains, not Ares as such, but what was it, Ludwig and
Ludendorff.
And the woman who looked like she was made out of a Team America puppet.
Oh my god! I don't even know her name.
Dr. Poison.
Dr. Poison! That was pretty fucking stupid, wasn't it, really?
I mean, at first it was menacing, and then after a while I just got used to it, and then it was...
So yeah, should we go on to the characters then? We talked about the three dudes that they rocked around.
So about the three dudes, so
They
about
were
Chris
cool.
Pine and Wonder Woman.
Lupus from Harry Potter. He was in this.
Right.
David Thewlis
See, we're gonna
from
hit...
Blackpool, local lad.
this is where we're gonna hit possibly negative territory.
Okay.
Big-
So Sir Patrick.
So Patrick turns out to be...
It was a plot twist, and to be honest, I did not
didn't
see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming.
Did not see.
The
See,
one-
I totally thought that Ludendorff was Ares because, you know, I could see him turning into Ares. He's
Yeah.
a big dude, scary. He was doing that thing with the gas, and I was like, oh, that's strange. And I was like, maybe he's going to turn into Ares.
You're gonna hit my point.
Yeah.
So when it's revealed he's Ares, I thought, right, okay, so he's gonna become.
He's going to
Ares,
transform into this muscly dude.
Someone else, maybe another
Yeah.
actor should play him
But
or
no,
something.
it was the same guy.
And it didn't work.
No, not really. It was a bit odd, wasn't it? I thought the same as you. He's a shapeshifter or something, and he's going to transform into this big, meaty, muscly god with horns, quite animalistic, you know. And then he sort of did a Magneto and controlled a load of metal to make himself a suit.
All I'm saying is,
I like that thing with the mask where he sort of made his eye slits. That
Yeah.
was quite cool.
but they could have
then
just made
was-
it so you couldn't see his face black with the red dots, or
Yeah.
like in the comics.
Yeah, make him a bit inhuman looking. But yeah, I mean,
Ares doesn't have a cookie duster, is what I'm saying.
yeah.
I would have preferred it if, honestly, the true villain in this would have been War in some way.
Yeah, and she killed who she thought was Ares, and because that moment when she, the moment of realization, when she was like, "Holy shit, I was wrong all along."
This changes nothing.
You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't even mind it if Ares showed up as he did, as a professor, in a Loki kind of manner, like disappearing and reappearing, explain how he's done stuff. But do it like Voldemort, and we build him up, so he's too weak at this moment to actually take her on. But then she realises the error of her ways and goes to take on that entire fucking fleet to help stop it. We've now used Ares, and Ares is gone already. I think it was just a waste of a good character.
Unfortunately, it was another throwaway villain, and you know, in the comic books and the games, like, you know, I've played Injustice, Ares is fucking badass and
Ares is
scary.
powerful, yeah.
He's powerful. He's a
I
fucking god.
was ready to shit
You
my
know.
pants when they're talking about Ares, and I'm more scared of that painting in Ghostbusters 2 than I am of Ares.
Right.
So, scene by scene by scene, you can break this down, and each scene has a memorable moment. Everything, there's no problem with this, and this is what is good about this film compared to.
I just ripped my pants.
Shut up.
Fucking hell. Sorry.
That's another memorable scene. So it just did. All them characters were really memorable. So much so, it did Rogue One better than Rogue One.
Yeah, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
Because in our Rogue One review, I did say that I didn't care for every character, and in this film I did every
Yeah.
single one.
Because they were all
Yeah.
well written,
Yeah,
and
believable.
I nearly welled up. I bet you did when Steve Trevor died.
Yeah, it was a very powerful moment, and it was very well done. But
Again,
we gave a shit about these characters. That was the main thing. And this is a film that you should take your daughters to see.
yeah,
You know, this is how. You know, they've nailed it. We've waited so long for this Wonder Woman film. Half of us didn't even think that it would happen, and now we've got it, and it was fucking great. That, like you say, there was just little bits in this film that made it not amazing. It didn't blow. Did it blow me away? No. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Would I go and see it again? Yes. But it didn't blow me away, and
Like-
it was for those little points that were plopped in that film that made it not be a runaway hit.
Like-
Well, that's pretty much it for the minuses, I think. What
Oh
else
no,
do we
hold
need to
on.
go? Oh, you've got a list.
Oh, I had a little list.
Jamie's got a list of
Yeah,
minuses.
I can tell you exactly everything that I didn't like about this film. Ares,
Mm-hmm.
like the
I agree.
reveal of Ares just didn't work for me.
The actor
the
was
actor
not believable
yeah,
as Ares. for me.
should have been.
I'm a fan. I love Professor Lupin in Harry Potter as that character. He's great. Not as Ares the God.
No,
No.
bad casting.
Bad casting.
The next part would have been, and I wrote it down and you laughed. The accents. The accents drove me crazy in
accents.
this.
What accents you
So
mean?
why don't the Germans speak German? Why could you not have just had subtitles? We know Chris Pine can speak German. In fact, when Chris Pine pulls it up, he speaks with a slight German accent.
That
But
was
then-
a good bit.
But then they go in, and then that's completely dropped. Gal Gadot has revealed that Wonder Woman can speak any language. So why either subtitle it, or it was just because some of the Germans sounded fucking British. There was just between like they're going, fucking hell, there's a woman coming over the fucking trenches. I was like, is that German? It was weird. I didn't like that.
Yeah.
The accents threw me off. I just want a bit more realism in that. Just Chipolata in general. I thought her acting was atrocious. I just thought she spoke down to the audience. I think she always seemed like she thought she was in another movie, like some kind of classical Greek play, and she had to really honestly hated that.
Her auntie was cool though. Auntie-O.
Antiope, but another thing I didn't like is, again, Antiope dies. We've seen how important this character is to Diana. It was really emotional, and then it's like, right, let's interrogate Stephen. And then I was like, okay, fair enough, let's interrogate Stephen.
Yeah.
And then after
Nothing
that,
was
it's
left to resonate.
yeah, there was
her
no
death.
funeral. Like,
No, that's true. It's a good point.
I really felt like that just needed to be there, just to get
Yeah,
it to
to-
home,
to-
to give her that drive.
Yeah, you're right.
It's a great film with problems,
Yeah.
but it's not a problematic film with great moments.
No, you're right. You hit the nail on the head there.
Can we give it?
Yeah. Should we rate it? Go on.
I'm going to
You're
give
gonna rate
it. Considering I give the cartoon 9 out of 10, I would give this. I'm going to give it the same as I gave Logan, 7 out of 10.
So,
What would you rate it?
I'm gonna give it. It's tricky for me because I'm teetering on the edge of a 7 and an 8. I don't want to give it a 7 because I'm pretty sure I gave Batman v Superman a 7. Was I high?
You gave Batman v Superman a 6.
Oh, 6, right? Yeah.
6.
Okay, that makes more sense. In that case, I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah, I'm gonna be the same as you, but it's a high 7, a very high 7, and almost an 8. It's not quite an 8 because I didn't get that feeling, like I said, when you leave the cinema. You're like, that was a fucking boss film, but it had some great moments in this
Yeah,
film,
very good
amazing, and she's done herself proud, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
This is the Wonder Woman film, and it's a good one.
In all seriousness, though, go take your daughters to go see this.
Go take your mums to go see
Yeah,
it. Go take the special lady in your life to see this film.
This is
Because
the-
they'll enjoy it.
Well-
I think girls will like this.
Well, this is the first female superhero-led film since Catwoman.
Oh, God. bought that film, watched it, and threw it in the bin.